Welcome to Lesson 5 of the CloudRamp series. In this video, we'll walk you through the process of chart of accounts mapping and segment transformation from source system to target system. CloudRamp has a pre-designed segment mapping sheet for mapping financial data between source and destination ledgers. The sheet is primarily used in chart of accounts migration or integration processes, ensuring the accurate transfer of data across financial systems. This chart of accounts mapping sheet is shared with the client, and here's how they map it. 1. Exact match required for translation. Here, the entire combination must match in the source for the translation to be applied. For example, if the combination of src_segment 1 to src_segment 6 exists in the source, it will be translated to dest_segment 1 to dest_segment 6. 2. Using any for flexibility. In the cases where one segment can be any value, you can mark the segment as any. For instance, if src_segment 2 is marked as any, the combination of src_segment 1, src_segment 3, src_segment 4, src_segment 5, and src_segment 6 must match, but src_segment 2 can be any value. If such a combination exists, it will be mapped to the corresponding destination combination. 3. Using other to avoid specific values. If you need to exclude a specific value, mark the segment as other. For example, in the case of src_segment 2 being marked as other, the combination of src_segment 1, src_segment 3, src_segment 4, src_segment 5, and src_segment 6 must match, while src_segment 2 should be any value other than a specific value, example, 209, to prevent duplication. If such a combination exists, it will be mapped to the corresponding destination combination. Likewise, you can also specify a range for a segment, in addition to using any or other. For example, src_segment 2 can be any value within the range of 100 to 1000, while the other source segments must match. Lastly, using a combination of any, other, and ranges across segments is also allowed, wherever needed across any of the source segments, for added flexibility in your mappings. Once the chart of accounts mapping sheet is completed and provided, it should be saved in the Phoenix CloudRamp folder under 04 Chart of Accounts. Inside this folder, you'll find a subfolder named COA Mapping Sheet. Before proceeding, ensure that the staging table for the subject area, example GL budget balance, with segments has been loaded. To learn how to load the staging table, please watch CloudRamp, Loading TDM Staging Database Tables and Performing Staging Profiling, Lesson 4. For subject areas containing segment columns, an additional template is available. However, you don't need to modify it, as it's pre-built and already linked to the staging template. This means that once the primary job is submitted and completed, the linking job will automatically run. As a result, after the data is loaded into staging, the second template will extract the source segments from the corresponding table. Eventually, you can load the mapping sheet by running templates residing in 100 Common Templates All Systems folder, followed by Chart of Accounts Transformation subfolder. There should be two folders within. Select 01 Load Chart of Accounts Mapping Sheet. This process involves preparing and loading data for the chart of accounts. 01 COA Move Finalized Mapping Sheets to Loading Directory. This template moves the mapping sheet provided by the client to load folder, and renames the file as COA_mapping. 02 COA Load DX_segments_mapping from Finalized Mapping Sheet. This template will pick the mapping sheet from the load folder, and load into the DX_segments_mapping staging table. 03 COA Archive Finalized Mapping Sheet. After loading, the mapping sheet will be archived in the archive folder. Please submit the template. 01 COA Move Finalized Mapping Sheets to Loading Directory. This job is designed to trigger the subsequent linked templates in sequence automatically. Next, we need to run the final and most crucial template, which performs the segment transformation. Please run the template 01, COA, load DX_segments_final transformation table in the 02 chart of account transformation folder. This converts the source segments into their corresponding destination segments. The complex transformation logic has already been pre-configured and is ready for use. Once the template is submitted and the job completes, the transformed values will be available in the DX_segments_final staging table. This marks the completion of chart of accounts transformation. Please watch our next lesson 6 video on lookups and reference data mapping. Thank you.